Come with me on another day in Cambodia. Today we're going to Battambang, Cambodia. We're driving from Siem Reap to Battambang and it takes several hours. It's quite a long ride actually. Battambang is also a very famous city like Siem Reap, but I'm pretty sure that Siem Reap is even more famous. Upon arrival, our tour guide took us to the marketplace. We decided to try a lot of Cambodian snacks. Nobody has to try anything they don't want to, of course, but we're in Cambodia, so we were pretty excited to try. Other than food, the marketplace sells a lot of stuff. It's actually pretty fun to look at all of the things. I liked it. I'm Asian, so I have seen a lot of the foods in the marketplace before, but not everything. I've definitely had things like dried fish before, but my husband is white, so he has not tried everything here. Plus, it's always fun to see a live fish market. I live in a Chinatown area of New York, so the vibes are similar in some ways, though. Tons of stuff to see and tons of really interesting foods that I haven't really tried before as well. All the food here is natural, which I think is great. You'll find that really often in foreign countries, their food is pretty natural, more natural than the United States, actually. You can see in Cambodian people that they're all in pretty good shape here, but not necessarily if they're American because the food quality. We tried this as well. It was pretty tasty, although I don't know the name. And this one is sticky rice that is in bamboo. I've tried this, but not exactly in the bamboo like that. Sticky rice is really yummy. I'm Chinese, so definitely I've tried it. Also, it's really nice to just support the locals, so I thought it was fun trying the foods. It's also a great way to see the local life here. Very fascinating and fun. The next stop we went to is a museum. It used to be used as a temple, but then they decided to use it as a place to educate people about the Khmer Rouge. If you're not familiar with the Khmer Rouge, it's very similar to the Holocaust, but for Cambodian people. It's very, very sad. I'm not exactly sure why, but I learned about the Holocaust in high school, but I never learned about the Khmer Rouge. From what I remember, basically they had a prince that left the country and left somebody else in charge, and they decided to start killing people. Apparently, they were inspired by a dictator in China who did the same thing. It's very, very terrible. They had a lot of pictures and they described in detail how they killed people. It's very sad. The memorials are all real skulls. It's honestly very heartbreaking to learn about. But we also saw some other sights, like we also saw the president's palace. We also visited a giant sculpture of a Hindu deity. Comment below if you know who this deity is. After that, we're driving off to the countryside in Battambang. Battambang is pretty big. We also went to a local's house where they taught us how they made rice wrappers and we were educated on the process. It's pretty cool and a very real Cambodia type of thing to do. After we learned about the rice wrappers, they made us some spring rolls. Spring rolls were delicious. I loved them. After that, we actually had to get a car tune-up. I had to rest for a bit anyway, though. The following activity was going on the bamboo train in Battambang. This is the same railway they used back then to transport lots of goods, and now currently it's being used as a tourist attraction. It was a lot of fun riding on this historical bamboo train. And plus, when you run into people, basically they just take off one bamboo train and reassemble. After that, we went to get lunch in a different part of Battambang. The views are so beautiful here. As an American, pretty much all of the food in Cambodia is really, really cheap, even when it's considered expensive for them. I just got something simple, fried rice. After that, we went up to a temple. The stairs were super long, they took forever. When we arrived at the top, we got to the temple, and a lot of it has been ruined because of the Khmer Rouge. There were bombings in part of the Khmer Rouge where you can see in this temple specifically. It's honestly very sad that this had happened back then. But I'm happy I got to visit. The view was also very beautiful from the top. After that, we're going to the next stop. We're going to keep learning about the Khmer Rouge. Also, I forgot to mention that our tour guide is actually a survivor of the Khmer Rouge. The population in Cambodia is mostly younger people because so many people did not survive the Khmer Rouge. Before we came to the next place, we came across a giant and beautiful Buddha. As we walked on, we saw some sculptures of the way they killed the Cambodians in the Khmer Rouge. It's honestly so sad. Learning about the Khmer Rouge is truly heartbreaking. Parts of you will lose hope in humanity listening to the stories. The next place that we went to is a killing cave where unfortunately a lot of people lost their lives here. Back then, there were no stairs, and this was a place where people were pushed to their deaths. The reasons for the killing are kind of unknown to this day, but basically they wanted to control the population of Cambodia, and if you disagreed, then they would kill you. It's honestly very horrifying to learn about, but it's a really important thing people need to know. Also, fun fact, there's lots of monkeys all over this area if you're interested in animals. This area is also pretty high up, so there's lots of places where you can take pictures. Also, based on what my tour guide told me, the Khmer Rouge is very sad and they definitely are aware of it. But at the same time, they don't really dwell on the past in a negative way. It's just something sad that happened that they educate people as far as tourism. Also, this area you can see a lot of bats coming out in the evening. After that, we had a long drive home. That's all for now. Like and subscribe if you enjoyed this. Thanks for watching!